So we are less than 2 hours away from the impeachment motion vote. We now go over to the Yongsan Presidential Office, and our correspondent Oh Soo-young is connecting with us. Soo-young, what's the mood there like as the president awaits the National Assembly's vote?
Good afternoon, Hami. It's quiet but watchful here within the office of the president as the Yoon Suk Yeol administration awaits the fateful vote by Parliament. And it's eerily quiet outside as well, with no traffic or crowds, as of course all the action will be taking place in Yeouido today. Well, the president's aides are known to be on duty, but of course they're keeping away from the media. Senior secretaries have been convening to discuss and also observe the developments today, and of course we'll be following up on the results of the impeachment vote when it takes place. As for President Yoon, it seems that he'll be observing the situation from his own residence in Hannam-dong, Yongsan-gu District.
Well, the last time we heard from President Yoon himself was back on Thursday, where he gave an almost half-hour televised address. Just briefly, Soo-young, let's go over the highlights of that speech and what this indicates about his position.
Right, Hami. So during his 29-minute speech on Thursday, President Yoon insisted that his move to impose martial law on the nation had been legal, and he was simply exercising his presidential act of governance. He said that it was the opposition that had incited unconstitutional moves. He said that he was moving to protect South Korean democracy from what he called anti-state forces, criminal groups, as well as national security risks such as North Korea and Chinese spies. Yoon mainly argued that for the past 2 years, the opposition has been moving to unseat him and members of his administration, as well as obstruct their major policies, making governance of the nation impossible. Then he insisted martial law was a political decision made legally under his executive authority. So his speech seemed to be an attempt to defend and justify himself as investigators close in on him on charges of possible insurrection. And as he said that he would fight to the end, this indicates that he would not resign, but rather face impeachment proceedings.
Then let's talk about the consequences for Yoon today. What powers would he continue to retain if he is or isn't impeached?
Well, if impeached, then President Yoon will get a notification from Parliament about their resolution to impeach him, and that would strip him of his presidential authority for up to 180 days that the Constitutional Court takes to make a ruling on whether to impeach him or not. And in his place, Prime Minister Han Duck-soo will be acting as interim leader. It took about 3 hours for the notification to reach former President Park Geun-hye's office 8 years ago when she was impeached. And, well, only President Yoon's title as the executive would be retained, as a suspended president cannot exercise any powers, including diplomatic authority, appointment or dismissal of public officials, or command of the armed forces. The suspended president also cannot receive reports or give orders to public officials, such as the Prime Minister and cabinet ministers, nor can he attend National Assembly sessions. However, the president is entitled to protocol privileges, such as residing in the presidential residence, using official vehicles and aircraft, and receiving security protection. His office would also remain, with senior secretaries proceeding to answer to him as usual. On the other hand, if he is not impeached, then he would retain his title, but it's likely his credibility and ability to govern will be damaged, as investigations into his insurrection charges will continue, leading to his possible arrest. If he is arrested, the question then would be whether he's judged to be temporarily unavailable to perform duties, or whether this creates a vacancy in office. Now, if he's deemed unable to perform his duties in line with Article 71 of the Constitution, then the Prime Minister would take over as interim leader. But if his arrest is considered a vacancy in line with Article 68, then an election has to be called within 60 days.
Thank you, Soo-young, for your report today. We appreciate it as always.